Today I'll be changing the spark plugs on my 20B rotary engine. Now with the 20B being a 3-rotor engine made by Mazda, it means that it gets 6 spark plugs. Each rotor on a Mazda rotary engine has 2 spark plugs. The one on the top will be your trailing. This one down here on the bottom will be your leading. Rotary engines require really good spark plugs because on a rotary engine, the spark plug is always at work because all 3 faces of the rotor is doing a part of your combustion cycle. One's doing the intake stroke, one's doing the combustion, and one's doing the exhaust. So that spark plug is in high demand. And on top of that, rotary engines like high RPMs, they like to rev out. So you combine the high demand for spark with higher RPMs, the spark plugs are very important. I personally run NGK spark plugs on all of my rotary engines. There's a separate spark plug for trailing and separate for leading. So the 5777 is your trailing spark plug. You'll see on the spark plug there's a little T for trailing, while the 6917 will be your leading spark plugs. And you'll see a little L on the spark plug. Alright, so I like to do it one rotor at a time. So I set out all my spark plugs, all 6. Leading, trailing, leading, trailing, leading, trailing. I'll start with the front rotor, second and third rotor. On this Cosmo in particular, you'll see they're clearly labeled on these coil packs, L1, 2, 3, and then there's a T1, T2, and T3. If you're looking from the side of it, rotor number 1 sits right in here, there's rotor number 2, and there's rotor number 3. Front spark plugs off. Alright, here are my front 2 spark plugs out. Remembering the leading goes in the bottom spark plug hole, trailing in the top. Okay, rotor 1 is done. Now I'm going to move on to rotor number 2. Alright, rotor number 2 is out. I'll get my set for rotor number 2. Take off the 2 off of the rear and final third rotor. And here is rotor number 3. So there's all my old spark plugs, and here's my final set to put in. Alright, all my spark plugs are in. All of the spark plug wires are hooked up correctly. Now we'll fire her up.